Hello, this is Lolly, and many of you may know that May is National Scrapbooking Day month, and I think it's the first Saturday of the month is Scrapbooking Day. So I am not actually much of a scrapbooker, and to my shame, because really I am not keeping photos and keeping memorabilia like I should. I mean, I journal, and I might stick some ticket stubs in there, but I'm really not taking pictures like I ought. And so I wanted to come up with a challenge that would work for those of you who kind of feel the same way, that you would like something quick in order to say, I can put a photo in here really fast without feeling like I have to do this big layout. So what I was thinking was, a lot of photos here in the US, they're 4x6 size, and so are Project Life cards, and that's the reason I'm choosing this. It's a book. I'm still thinking about what to call it, but kind of like a brag book. And Vera of Crafty, Aunt Vera's Scrap and Craft had said, you know, something about taking selfies, and I thought, well, I really don't take a lot of selfies, and I especially don't print them up and put them in anything to keep. So anyway, I was thinking of a way to use 4x6s, and so my pages in this book are going to be 4x6. My cover is 5 by 6.5. I have two heavy chipboard, and then I cut two 6 by 7.5 papers to cover these. So 5 by 6.5, 6 by 7.5. You see that? And then these edges are going to fold over, and then I will cover the edges with this, which is 4 3/4 by 6 1/4. I've already gone ahead and covered the chipboard with the tape here, and this is double-sided sticky tape, and I have different brands going here because I have different brands for different widths. This is 1 inch from Joann's, and then I have a 1/2 inch over here, and I want to adhere this to the paper. I'll shove that over. So I'll make sure this is vertical for me. I tend to put things upside down. I am just going to center it and eyeball it and put it down there. Now, we need to cut the paper off at an angle, but we don't want to cut it right up against the chipboard because the chipboard is thick. So basically what I want to do is cut it away from the chipboard, the thickness of the chipboard. So I'm measuring, and if you can see that, I measured the thickness of the chipboard away, so that's where I'm going to cut it. I hope that makes sense. You will see why. There's a method to my madness here. Let's do this all the way around. Oops. Okay, now I'm actually going to cut exactly on the line or a little bit inside the line, since I know as in tracing I actually got further away from that line than I needed. Okay, and that. Then I want to make sure I get a good score right here on each of those. And there. And then I want to put tape right here. So hold on while I do that. Okay, I've got that tape on there. I need this one because I want to burnish this across there. Get that nice and I was not very particular as to getting this tape all the way on and precisely where I needed it, because I know that once I flip these up, I will cover the other side with that other piece of paper I was showing you. Okay, and this. One more. Okay, I'm going to work those up. Sometimes you can just move it like this to get those bent up the way you want them. In. And I have a little bit of the tape still sticking out, which again is okay because I'm going to cover that up. So there's that. And I do recommend using the double-sided sticky tape if you have it. If you don't and you use wet glue, make sure you clamp it until it's nice and adhered. Then I want to put this here, so I can use double-sided sticky tape again if I want, but I think for speed I'm going to use this Scotch Quick Dry Adhesive Scotch Tacky Glue. I keep forgetting to change my name. They changed their name on me. Now I'm having a hard time remembering to change it with them. So again, this is heavy chipboard. It's the chipboard that I used when I made my Easter Memory Decks box. And I actually got this as packaging material years ago when I bought some 12 by 12 papers. This was what was keeping the papers from warping, and it is really good chipboard. I got this back in the day when I thought that is such good cardboard. I didn't even know to call it chipboard. Okay, that's one cover, so you want to make 2 of those. The paper collection I'm using for this is Craftsmith Love a Latte. Okay, so it's like mauves and browns. Okay, I'm going to do this other one and come back. Okay, I have both of those done, and in typical Lolly fashion, I punched the left sides on both of them instead of the right side on one. So one of these will be upside down to be the back. Typical, typical. But it's, I love it. When life puts you upside down, you need your coffee, right? And there were some elements in the pack, and I'm thinking about putting this on the front. And just because the sentiment is so appropriate, I really, I know a lot of people who were very hesitant to take a selfie and to have that go online. And I have found myself getting in that habit lately. And I'll explain why later when I show you my photos. But I don't want to hesitate to use the selfie, so I'm putting that there. Okay. And if I embellish more, I will come back and do that. But you know, I do tend to like a flat cover on my journal, so if I turn it open and I have pages and I'm writing, I don't want it to be bumpy. So that's why I do that. Okay, so on this, I'm just going to call it a memory book for now. And if I change the name of it, I will put that in the video title, and you will know then. So one of the things I want to do in here is to put an envelope in here. Okay, so going with the 4x6 theme, if you want to do an envelope and you have an envelope punch board, you will need to cut a piece of paper 7 3/4 inch squares, squared. So let me pull that out here. So 7 3/4 inch. No, you don't have it right side up. Okay, and then you want to score that at, I think it's 3 1/8. Yes, 3 1/8 will be your score. So punch down and score that. Turn it around, get that lined up. This is a very busy pattern. It's coffee beans. Score. Oops, I lost my score thing. There you go. Turn that around, line it up. If you don't have the envelope punch board, you can also just use envelopes that you have at home and just punch the 2 holes in the side. This is really such a busy pattern. It's very hard for me to see my prior score lines here. There we go. Okay, let's put that up. Turn that over. The reason I did it with a pattern up is because in a score, valleys become mountains, so they're indented, so now they will become mountains. Okay, I just thought the coffee bean would be a cute pattern for an envelope. Let's push that one in. Now, I also, if you've seen my other videos, I don't like this point, so I am just going to mark that off and get rid of it. Annoying to me. It's not finished enough. And if you would like, you can distress your edges right now, and you can also round that tip there. I think I may do a little distressing. Going with the brown color, I have this walnut stain, and I want this flap at least a little distressed. There we go. Okay, and to glue. I'm going to put the side flaps down first and glue up. Hold that for a second while I cap my glue. Okay, I've got glue bottles falling all over the place. And then all we need to do is punch the 2 holes here, and I need to reset this back at 6 because I remembered that I had changed it. And it's very hard to get it right on cue. There we go, 6. Okay, now I have 2 envelopes that'll be in here, and these will be for holding photos or holding other memorabilia. Cool, cool. Okay, and I will also be putting in, just some 4x6 cards that I can use like a journaling card or to glue a photo onto. Okay, that'll be all ready. And if I have a 4x6 photo, I'll just punch holes in that and stick it in there, and I don't have to worry about whether I have to do a big decorative layout or not. The other thing I want to do is put tabs in here. So I cut, this is why I made the cover. If you notice, the cover, it's a little long here. It's to make room for tabs. And so you can either take one of these and make your own tabs and glue them on, or you can take a new sheet of paper and cardstock and make tabs of that. This one says happiness is a cup of hot coffee. And I made these 6 by 4 3/4 so that I could do tabs on the tab punch board. So this is the way it's going to be in here. I want the tabs here, so I'm going to start here. And I do have a video about doing the tabs in the punch board, so I can show you that video as well. Now you decide whether you want a small, medium, or large tab. I think I'm going to go medium. And there it is. Yeah. Put it over here and trim off the little extra here. Could use this for something else. So that is a top tab. Now I want to do a middle tab. Again, this is the side I want to do it in. I line it over here 6. Medium is what I'm doing. Flip it over, line it up medium. And again, on the other video on how to use this tab punch board, you can see better what I'm doing. So there. There, so now I have, oops, that one didn't come all the way off. I was a little hasty, which I tend to do. So now I've got a left and a middle. Now to do a right tab, again, it's going to be on this side. This is where I want it, but I have to turn it over actually. Turn it over and pretend it's a left tab. So let's put this back over here. Do this. And now we can line it up with the medium again. Put it over here. There we go. So now, again, I did that. Okay, so now we have all 3 tabs, and I think I can punch them all 3 at once in here. 6-inch. Now I'm going to show you how these fit in the cover. See, the cover goes completely above that, so it really is going to be cute. And I'll show you what it's like to have a tab above that. Very nice. Okay, so another thing I wanted to put in my memory book, and that is, I made one of these. It's just a 4x6 piece of cardstock, and I just sewed a little pocket with vellum on there, and that's again for a photo or memorabilia. It'll be cute with a photo in there if your vellum is photo safe. And I made this sort of pocket here. Okay, I just took 2 of the 4x6 cards. Let me find them. They are right here. And one of the things that one of my friends showed me to do with the envelope punch board is to just use it for that really cute notch there. I like that. So if this is a 4-inch card, I'm going to put that up to, no, this is a 6-inch, sorry. So I'm going to put that on the 3 here. It's 6-inch this way. And I need to just kind of freshen that up a little bit. I love that little notch there. It's very cute. If you don't have this, you can use half of a, like a round, makes a circle. Okay, flip this over and just glue them together on the sides, not on this end here with the notch. If I can remember to do that. Sometimes I say to do something and then I go and do the opposite, like flipping my cover over. Okay, so there's another one. So there's this kind of a pocket. Oops, didn't quite get that lined up. Okay, and I would leave this alone or put binder clips on it to make sure that it is adhered well. So that's this kind of pocket. Again, all you have to do is stick it in here. Put your holes, and you've got 2. Okay, now this one I did use a one of the pieces from the kit as well. The paper collection. There we go. Okay, and another kind of pocket I have for my book is this. It's going to be a fold-out pocket right here, and I will show you the measurements on that one. Again, you can put memorabilia in here or photos or whatever you would like. So that one needs to be cut down to 6 by 9 7/8. 6 by 9 7/8. When you get it cut and you're looking at your pattern, if you want your pattern this way, put it in your paper cutter and cut the long way this way, 9 7/8, and then do your 6. So when you flip it over, you need to score it 4 and 7, okay? And so this folds over, and this folds over. And again, you can distress your edges if you would like. I want a notch right here like I have on this one. So again, I'll stick that in there. It's still set up for 6 wide. Oops, I punched holes. What was I? See what I'm doing? Okay, not what I meant to do. So what I'm going to do, get tricky here. Hold on. I have done this before. I was so many tools here going at once that I punched holes in it instead of putting a notch in it. So I am going to cover up my holes. I'm not going to get rid of this piece of paper because I like it. So I'm going to cover up my holes with a strip, and we're going to pretend that this was meant to happen, right? That's one of those oops moments. Okay, so we are going to glue this right there. Cover up these nice holes that I just did. And it'll give us an interesting strip to look at. Too many things going at once here. Okay, so we have that. Now what I meant to do was to put a notch in it, not 2 holes. Okay, again, line that up on the 3. There we go. Now we have a nice notch and a border. Okay, so that actually adds interest to it. And this is what's going to get the holes. This side right here. Okay. So, all we need to do is to glue this down by just gluing here and here. And then you won't see those holes at all. Now, again, I'm using glue because if you use sticky tape, it never dries, and anything you put into the pocket is going to stick into that sticky tape. Whereas the glue will dry and you'll have a nice smooth access into your pocket. So I'm going to clip that and clip this because I know I'll fiddle with it and it won't dry because I'll keep messing with it. There we go. So that is another element of my memory book that I'm making. Okay, I'm going to start putting this together. Okay, so the beauty of this is it's an expanding memory book. So these are some 1-inch album rings from Paper Studio that I actually got on clearance. You know, they're hinged. And so you can go up to a bigger ring as you need. So I'm looking for my upside down cover. There it is. And I want to get, sorry, I'm off camera, get rings in here. Eek. Okay. And I've noticed that some of these I cut accidentally not as wide as I would like, but that's okay because it just gives more dimension to the project. That's cut. Okay, I think I'll line these up and just say, I'm going to do that, and this, and that, and then one of these or 2. So I'm just going to kind of stack them up, and then as I go, because right now I don't have a pure direction as to how I want to go with the order, or, you know, like the front section is going to be photos only. It doesn't really matter to me at this point. So I'm just lining these up. I'll put that there. Okay, and some paper. And then, and I will stick a photo in here as well. Okay. Oh, I should have put one of these on the other side. Like I said, that I can always rearrange these. I don't have to do it any particular order. Okay, I'll just throw them together. Now, there we go. Okay, it lines up really well. The other thing I want to do before I forget, and I will just clamp this together to hold it for me so I don't lose my place, is I did have a photo taken recently. We were talking about selfies and loving your selfie. So I had this photo taken, and I shouldn't have done this, but I actually cropped it down and then I had it printed, which I shouldn't have done, like I said, because if I'd have left it the right size, they wouldn't have had to blow it up to be a 4x6. But that wasn't my problem. My problem, and if you're a nurse, you'll probably see the same thing I do, maybe not, is when I saw this, the first thing I noticed was just that my eyes, they're not sparkly, they're watery, and they're not white anymore because I've been dealing with a lot of health issues. And so it's all I saw when I saw this. And isn't it amazing that we can always do this with ourselves? We look at a photo and we just start tearing it apart right away. And we just need to not go there. We need to start embracing that and say, this is who I am right now, and I love my journey. So part of my loving my journey is loving my selfie. And I'm going to put this together. Come on. These little rings are a little floppy going in, but then they're really fun. Maybe I can hold them. No, I don't think so. We'll try this and see how well it goes. There, that worked. If I hold this in, it seems to go in pretty well. Toss that in there. Okay, and a cover. Now, what I did off camera was I put eyelets in the 2 cover pieces to give them strength because, you know, the covers are going to take a beating. They're the ones that are going to have most of the movement on them. So this is it now. And there you can see I have brown eyelets in there. And I have some of these gold rings. So love your selfie. I think the rings are just fine right now. I may go bigger. The covers are big enough to cover my tabs. There's my selfie. But the way this is set up, anytime that I want to add to it, I can go to that page and just unhook these right there, put in a photo, and I can go with it. Let's say like this. This is my Easter project that I just did, and I love it. I think it is so adorable. It does not match the color scheme of my book, but I don't care. I want this as part of my memories. So I can punch a holes and stick them in there, or I could maybe shrink it down and stick it in here somewhere. So there's different options, but let's go ahead and assume that I just want to put that in there as a memory of what's going on this time of my life. And the other thing is I could put lined paper in here, or I could put just lines on these. I have stamps that are just lines for journaling. So there you go. It's a flexible, it grows with you, can shrink with you because I can take down some of the elements and add new elements as I go. But I just wanted to share this project with you and the challenge to make your own. And when I say make your own, I mean make it your own. You don't have to put in tab dividers. You don't have to put in this folder pocket here. You don't have to put envelopes in it. It's just however you want to do it. But just remember too that these do hold project life cards. So if you have 4x6 project life cards, you can just punch the holes in them and you are ready to go. Okay? But so minimally, you will definitely need to make the cover and some way of putting photos in there. I hope you enjoyed that. Please stay tuned, or I should say read the description underneath the video for the information about the actual challenge portion of this. Alrighty? And thank you again for watching and sticking with me through all my blunders. I really love how this turned out. Thank you.